is going on, everybody? Today we are playing through a Marshall Silver Jubilee studio head with the matching 2x12, also known as my dream amplifier. Now, I've been wanting to make this video for probably about a week and a half, 2 weeks. If you follow me on Instagram, you would have saw that I posted this on my story that I'd received it about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. And I've been playing through it, trying to get used to it because it is a tube amp and I'm not typically used to playing tube amps, as most of you on this channel who watch this channel know. I'm usually playing digital or solid state amps, but this is my first tube amp that I own. I am beyond grateful to the person who gifted this to me. Words cannot describe how grateful I am and how much I appreciate it. I had a lot of things come my way in my musical journey, and I can't express my gratitude and my appreciation to the people who have gifted me those things and supported me along my journey. I cannot thank them enough and tell them how much I appreciate it enough. So I'm very, very grateful, and man, does this thing sound amazing. It's crazy. It sounds better cranked, and unfortunately I cannot do that because I don't have an attenuator. Mind you, I don't think you need an attenuator for this amp personally, in my opinion, but to each their own. Basically, this video is going to be me achieving the John Frusciante-esque style tone, the tone that I adore and that I'm always chasing, whether it be digital, solid state, or tube amp, pedals, guitar, anything like that. We're going to go through my John Frusciante Stratocaster built by Gundust Guitars, well, Fender guitar, but the relicking and the whole thing was put together by Andrea at Gundust Guitars. So if you don't know who that is, go check him out on Instagram. His work is incredible, and I can't thank him enough for putting this together. So before we get into the playthrough, I just want to show my EQ settings, which will be up here on the screen. You can pause it if you want to take a look at it, and then I'll also have a picture of my pedal board. And that's it. So it's the guitar to the DS2 to the GFX, a Big Muff copy, into the Super Overdrive 1 that I'm not using much in this demo, then the WH-10 V3, then the Barbonera by Triangulo Labs, into a tuner pedal, then into a Course Ensemble by Triangulo Labs, the replica there, and then usually I'm going stereo out of there, one reverb, like one wet with reverb, one dry, but this time we're going right into the Hall of Fame because we're just playing through the one Marshall Silver Jubilee. So before we get into the playthrough, opinions on this amp. Now, when I first got it, I didn't plug my pedal board into it, and I plugged my Les Paul straight in, and instant slash rock and roll tones. It's just a classic Marshall sound. Like, this is the sound I hear in my head when I think of Marshall. And what I really like about the studio version is that it's not gonna blow my ears off. I have the low version, and I know that most Jubilees have a master anyway, but yeah, it has the low and the high input, so I'm super glad that I'm able to even play this in my bedroom, because initially I was supposed to get the SVH20, so that I was gonna have to get an attenuator for, but the guy at the music store when I picked this up said try it without the attenuator first because it has more of a master control and a gain input. So as you saw in the settings, the input gain is set pretty high, and then the rest of the crunch is coming from the CE1 preamp. The output master on this amp, it opens up obviously more headroom a little bit. So when I press on my DS2 or stack gain pedals, so DS2 fuzz, super overdrive, even when I turn the WH-10 on, if the volume is a lot lower, it sounds very tight, if that makes sense. Squashed, a bit more squashed, like there isn't enough room for all of the gain to be passing through the signal. But when I crank it and I turn the things on, it just opens up and you hear everything with a lot more clarity and balance in the EQ. Whereas a lot of it is very low end heavy because I'm sitting beside the amp, the bass is on 10. We are miking it up with an SM57, so usually you guys would hear me going through an interface directly from my pedal board and then using the amp the preamp simulator of a Marshall. Now I'm miking it up with an SM57 like John typically would use. It's on the cab grabber, mic'd up into a Zoom UAC8. So yeah, just sit back, relax, enjoy the JF inspired tones, and comment below what part of the playthrough was your favorite in terms of tone. thank you so much for watching. Please comment down below what videos you want to see next. I'm starting to get a little confused just because sometimes I'm doing singing covers, sometimes I'm doing covers of playing on the electric, sometimes I'm doing gear videos and reviews and whatnot. So I'm also just getting a little confused on what videos the audience wants to see. So please comment down below what kind of videos you like to see and what you want to see me do next. This Saturday, my next video will be a guitar playthrough for my first single that is coming out, which is called Slip Away. It'll be on all streaming platforms under my last name, Russo. It's called Slip Away. It's my first single that I'm ever releasing, so I'm super hyped about that. So that will be the video this Saturday. It'll just be a playthrough on how you can play it on the guitar, like a guitar cover of it, not a breakdown. So I'm super excited for that. But like I said, for future videos, let me know what you want to see. Any support is always appreciated. A comment, like, share, anything. If you want to get more behind the scenes content or more reels, I post a lot of short form content over on Instagram as well as TikTok. So if you want to check that out and you just want extra content, make sure to follow me over on Instagram. I'll link it somewhere here on the screen. But with that being said, that's all for today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. Ciao.